Liverpool had a great 24-25 season. They won the Premier League, Salah had his best return since his debut season, Ryan Gravenberch was one of the most important players in the entire Premier League, Virgil van Dijk still looks like one of Europe's best at the age of 33. But to stay at the top, you've got to keep pushing. So here's 3 signings I think Liverpool need to make to win another title. Liverpool have already spent big this window. They brought in Florian Wirtz, Frimpong and Kerkez. On the opposite end, Diaz is constantly being linked with moves away. Darwin Núñez needs to go. Chiesa was worth the gamble, but I don't think he's at the level that's required. And Harvey Elliott was already looking like he could command a decent fee. But now with his performances for the England under-21s this summer, I think it's the perfect time for him to go be a star somewhere else and for Liverpool to make some money off of it. That leaves what? Gakpo, Wirtz and Salah as kind of the forward options, given not all of those players I mentioned will go, but you would like to think 2, maybe 3 will. So for me, I think that means we're looking at a forward, specifically a 9. So for that position, I've gone with Hugo Ekitike. So I'm guessing the first question you'll have is affordability. Obviously, you've just dropped over 100 million on Wirtz. Frimpong did have a buyout clause, to be fair, but Kerkez wasn't cheap, so realistically, where's this money coming from? He's currently being priced at between 80 and 100 million euros, which isn't cheap. But if we look back at other Premier League clubs who have spent 100 million euros on players, take Arsenal, the summer they bought Declan Rice, they also dropped 75 million euros on Kai Havertz. I think Chelsea have done it twice. They paid 121 million euros on Enzo, and in the same window they bought in Mudryk for 70 million euros, along with 103 million euros on Gusto, Madueke and Badiashile. Second time round, they spent 116 million euros on Caicedo, before dropping over 250 million euros on Cole Palmer, Lavia, Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson and Axel Disasi. So look, all I'm saying is it feasible? If the deal can be structured right, I don't think it's that unrealistic. If you look here at his numbers, his shots, carries, take-ons, assists, almost every element of his attacking play is in the top 10%. He reads the game extremely well. If you look at his heat map, you can see although he's in the top 6% for touches in the opposition penalty area, he's also involved in build-up and link-up play. He's 6'3", so sometimes people misprofile him for a big man, but realistically, I think he has more to his game than that. He loves to come in off the left, and I think with Wirtz coming in and rumours of a system change, I think we could see a lot of interchangeability with the front line. Liverpool have the funds. They didn't spend last summer apart from Chiesa, so I wouldn't think FFP would be an issue. But is it realistic? Liverpool fans, is even good enough? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So, player number 2, and looking at the Liverpool squad, I think you're pretty set in midfield. You could potentially upgrade on Endo, but I think if you just let him see out the end of his contract, he's cover enough. Defensively though, if you're looking long term, I think you're a couple centre-backs short. I think Gomez needs to go. He's got 2 years left in his contract. He's 28 now. This is probably the only time you'll really make any money off of him. Also, I think for him, he's won everything he can with Liverpool. 28, why not go and fight to be starting week in, week out somewhere else? Kwanzaa looks set to leave. I think the deal with Leverkusen looks like it's pretty much done. Position 2 and position 3. Both centre-backs. Ideally, I think you're looking for one left footer, one right footer. Both of them young enough to understand that they're not going to be starting week in, week out. They're going to have to fight for their minutes, but also experienced enough to step in for Liverpool and not feel like a massive drop-off in quality. So for me, on the right-hand side, we're looking at Malik Thiaw. So funnily enough, I've actually seen Thiaw kind of looks like he might be going to Como. 25 million euro fee's been agreed, although personal terms don't look like they're set yet. So if it's me, I'm hijacking. He's only 23 years old, but featured heavily for Milan over the last 3 seasons, although he's not a guaranteed starter. He can push up the pitch, his passing numbers really stand out. He's in the top 6% for pass completion from centre-backs and 14% for progressive passes. I guess the only, not even necessarily downside, but the only thing that you need to kind of consider is if he has or is on the verge of joining Como, he then has a choice to make as to whether he wants to be an option at Liverpool or whether he wants to be the option at Como. Personally, I don't think he's at that level just yet where you could be starting him week in, week out for Liverpool. But as a squad member, he's a definite upgrade on the two that, for me, one's already looks like he's gone and the other needs to go. All right, so that brings me to transfer number 3, which we already know is another centre-back. For me, I think, like I said before, got to be left-footed. But I also think you may potentially want someone who can play as a left-back. Robertson is being linked with moves away, and realistically, if he doesn't go this summer, he's likely to go next. Someone who is good enough to start at left-back if Kirkes is injured or you need the squad rotation. We're looking young, we're looking experienced. I think we're looking at Jarell Hatto. So I do think it's inevitable that Hatto gets a move eventually. He's only 19 years old, but he's played over 100 games for Ajax. That's incredible. Now, you may be thinking, well, he's not a centre-back, he's a left-back, but yes, he did predominantly play there for Ajax last season, but he's actually played 70 games as centre-back. Go watch the Euros, under 21s, he was there, centre-back, had the captain's armband on and everything. Plus, like I said, with him only being 19 years old, I think he's young enough to still be able to go either way, either a phenomenal left back or a phenomenal centre back. He's Dutch, so could potentially find it a bit easier integrating into the team. He'll have his international captain there playing either beside him in Virgil van Dijk or as an understudy to him. He'll also have Gravenberch, who came through the Ajax Academy, like Hatto, and Gakpo, who Hatto's played with at international level. So it all just makes sense. He's 6 foot, so not small by any means, an exceptional passer on the ball. Obviously, these numbers are compared to fullbacks across Europe's top 5 leagues, but looking at those passing numbers, they jump out the page. Offensively, although the graphs don't suggest it, he is a great tackler. If you watch him play, his timing, reading, anticipation, he's brilliant. He's not necessarily a ball carrier, he's more of a passer, but I think if he's playing centre-back, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if he's playing left-back, that's something he'd need to adapt to his game, but that's what Kirkes is there for. That's why I said long-term wise, I think he'd be a great option at centre-back. But Liverpool fans, let me know in the comments, is this a reach? Is he even a centre-back? Is he a left-back? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been PMFC Miles. Thanks for locking in.